Hello, Year 11 mock, paper 1, question 20. ABCD is a square with side length of 4x. So that length is 4x, because it's a square, that length is 4x, that length is 4x, that length is 4x. M is the midpoint of DC, so although it doesn't look it, that's supposed to be halfway between D and C. Okay, so halfway point. N is the point on AD where ND equals X. I have not highlighted N, that there is N. That's just fancy chat for what it shows you in the picture, that length is X. Okay. BMN is a right angle triangle. Find an expression in terms of X for the area of the triangle. Okay. There are a few different ways of doing this. Bottom line, you're trying to find the area of that grey triangle in the middle there. Okay. Now, some folk choose to do some folk have used Pythagoras or whatnot to try and find the area of, the length of those two sides, and once you have the length of two perpendicular sides in a triangle, you can do half of base times height. Okay, so find that, half of that times that. I'm going to take a different approach here, one that's kind of just comes to my head when I look at it, and hopefully it might seem easier for yourself as well. First of all, that grey bit is a piece of this square, alright? So you could look at it like a composite area problem in a way. That if you find the area of the whole square, then you find the area of those little bits, take them away from this area of the square, and voila, you're left with the grey bit. So that's the approach I'm going to take here. First thing to do is, based on the information it's talking about, with this being X and this being a midpoint, you can label some lengths on this. Because of the fact that you know that every single length on the outside of the square is 4x, if this bit is x here, then that is going to give us the difference, which is 3x. If M is supposed to be halfway between D and C, that leaves you with a 2x here and a 2x there. Apologies for the picture, it's not that great, but again, you should be looking at the question in front of you and feel comfortable enough to doodle on that. And then I can fill in the fact that that's 4x as well. So hopefully, and looking at it, these three white triangles you've got here, you've got the area of this triangle, which is going to be half of 3x times 4x. You've got the area of this triangle, which is going to be half of x times 2x. You've got the area of this triangle, which is going to be half of 4x times 2x. And then the area of the whole square in general will be 4x times 4x. So if we find those things, the rest is just simple adding and subtracting to get an answer. So mini version of it. I'll do it in colour. This triangle here, first of all, half of 4x times 3x. 4x times 3x is 12x, so it's half of 12x, which will give us 6x. Okay. It doesn't actually give you any units, so you don't need to put centimetre squared or anything like that. In theory, if they don't give you anything, you should put units squared, but seem to get away with that. So that's the black bit. The red bit in here is half of 2x times x, which gives us, oh, I made a mistake before. 4x times 3x is actually 12x squared, so half of 12x squared gives us 6x squared, alright? Pat yourself in the back if you spot that I made that mistake, by the way. And here, half of 2x times x is 2x squared, half of you get 1x squared. Or just x squared, okay? And finally, blue bit. This length we've got is 2x, this length we've got is 4x, half of those two, half of 4x times 2x. Just pause there and make a moment. I can obviously talk this through with you, and you might be wondering why on earth am I writing all this down. It's very important that you show your workings, so be that labelling the sides in the picture, just like I did here. All that sort of stuff that you're doodling on the page is going to get you marks. And it's showing that you know what to do here, again, is going to pick you up marks, because anyone on their day can make a mistake with their tables or whatnot and end up with something wrong. If you jump to the end or try to do too much in your head, you're going to drop marks needlessly. When if you just write them down, you show that you can do it. You know, if you get final answers wrong and you've only made one mistake, then in this case, 4 marks, you're going to get 3 out of 4 for it. So that's why I'm taking the time to write all this out. 4x times 2x, 8x squared, half of that, 4x squared. Okay, so the blue triangle, the red triangle, and the black triangle are 6x squared, x squared, and 4x squared together. I can add them all up right now to give me 11x squared. So you could say that's the area of the triangles together. So all I need to do now is find the area of the whole square and take that away from it. And we'll go for pink. Area of the whole square is, area of a square is its length times breadth, or its length squared, because the length's the same size on all sides. So 4x all squared gives me 16x squared. And then the difference between those two is going to give me 5x squared. Again, I'm just going to make sure I'm doodling that down. 5x squared is the area of that triangle.